Alright gems, starting with a fresh face and beat brows. I start with my eye primer today. I'm using my Shadow Insurance by Too Faced and just applying on the lid. As we know, this helps with keeping your shadows on your lids all day without creasing. Going with my first transition color, you guys know how I do. Anastasia Beverly Hills Morocco. Applying it in windshield wiper motion just in the crease of the lid. I decided to go on my Juvia's Place palette, the first one, and go a little bit above Morocco because I felt like it was too dark of a transition, so I needed to start with something a little bit lighter, and that's what you see me doing here. Just using my MAC 217 brush, and I'm really blending out Morocco underneath my brow bone just to make sure that I'm getting that gradient effect. And then I'm just using a fluffy blending brush and blend those two looks, y'all, those two shadows together. Then I go into my Juvia's Place 2 palette and I grab that blue color. I can't remember the name, but I'm applying it directly on the lid just below my crease. You all know I have hooded lids, so I'm making sure that I'm packing that on and then blending that out. So it's more of a pack on, blend out. Then right on top of that blue color, I go in with the green from the same palette, and then I pack it directly on top. Just really creating a nice base because I know I'm going to go in with a pretty vibrant green teal colored glitter, and I just feel like these two together, as I'm fussing out my child here, as you can see, really marry well together. So you're just packing on that shade. Then I decided to bring a little bit more color and fun to the lid, so I go in with my Makeup Forever shade. This is kind of like a grapefruit. Why can't I talk today? It's more of an eggplant color, and it's in the shade M928. I don't really understand the logic behind their number system, but hey, it is what it is. The glitter adhesive that I'm using today is by Too Faced. It's their Glitter Insurance. I just do it in sections, and that's the best bet when you're applying glitter, so that you make sure that you cover your area pretty heavily, and then you kind of build on it so that you're not wasting product by putting glue on and then it dries and then the glitter won't stick. So that's just my personal preference, but to each its own. So I do it sections at a time, and I'm using Eye Candy glitter in the shade Spearmint. So I didn't want anything too intense as an eyeliner for this look, but I did decide to take a little bit of my black gel eyeliner by MAC and apply it just along the lash line, because it's just best to have a little hidden gem there when you're applying your lashes. It's just a personal preference of mine. I kind of tightline because I don't want to lose all that work I did with the glitter, so I apply a really smooth gel liner just because I know I'm going to apply the falsies, and it just helps everything marry together. For my mascara, I'm using my Maybelline False Push-Up, nothing new here. And for my lashes, I decided to go in with my Cocoa lashes, I believe. No, I'm lying. These are Vegas Nay Glamour lashes by Eyeliner. Yeah, I really love these, and they just sit real nice and pretty. For primer, I'm using my YSL primer just because I want a smooth base. I felt like I had a little bit of texture, and this really sets the base before you apply. And I also know, you see this little shade I'm throwing, you guys came for me for the Hourglass. I'm trying to give it another go, and it's best to use, in my opinion, with a silicone primer. Also, something else that I did from my previous review is that I hate the foundation brush, so I just go with my Real Techniques blender sponge. I find that it's a little bit more seamless. I feel like it was easier to blend out. My application time was cut dramatically in half. So I highly suggest use a silicone based primer, but also use a beauty blender or your Real Techniques sponge. For concealer, I'm going with my LA Pro concealer in the color Fawn in the areas that I typically highlight, so underneath the eyes, forehead, nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. And as you see me do 1,000,001 times, I go ahead and blend this out with a beauty blender. I believe here I'm using my Real Techniques sponge, but whatever you're fancy, just make sure you blend that out so that you have a seamless application. Set the under eye concealer, I'm using my Sasha Buttercup setting powder. You guys, I've been noticing when I look up and apply my setting powder, I crease less throughout the day and it really stays put and gives me a flawless finish. So that's why you see me looking up when I'm applying it and pressing it into the skin. I'm basically down to like the last little nub of my Black Up contour stick, the color 04. So I'm applying this in the areas that I typically do, so the perimeter of my forehead, the depth of my cheek, just below my cheekbone. Sometimes I'll go ahead and apply it on my nose and then on my chin. One thing I regret doing here is applying it after I applied that setting powder, because it really is counterproductive. But you know, when you're a pro, you kind of just make do what you did. But I would highly suggest to apply your highlighter, then your concealer, then your powdered products. To brush away that excess setting powder, I'm using my Studio Fix powder in NW48. Allows me to set my whole face, but also brush away that extra powder on my face. And then I bronze with my Ebony bronzer. You guys, it's just the perfect red hue, 2 deeper skin tones to kind of give you a really nice warm look on the face. On my lower lash line, I'm going with my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Liner, and it's in the color Cobalt Blue. I just found that it matched the color that was in the shirt that I was wearing, and I thought, you know, since I'm already mixing blue and greens, why not do that on my lower lash line? And then I'm going back into my Juvia's Place palette in that blue color. I'm just setting that eyeliner in place and really blowing this out so that you can see the distinct colors, the green on top and the blue on the bottom. I'm loving this Becca Jaclyn Hill palette, you guys. This blush is just bomb. It's just enough flush, 2 deeper skin tones that you need, and then it already has the highlighter, so it's like a one-stop shop. I'm applying that in the typical areas where I applied highlighter to really have my skin look glowy and strobed out. For my lips, I'm using my Chestnut liner, and then on my lip I'm using this new liquid lipstick that I got in my most recent Ipsy bag. I don't remember the name of it, so I'll make sure to list it below. And then I go over top of it with a clear lip gloss that I actually get from Victoria's Secret, and I think it's called like Bubblegum Pink, but it's pretty much as effective and it does what it needs to do. I set my whole look, and there you have it, you guys, this green blue glitter look. I had a really fun time creating it. I mean, anytime I can use glitter, it's like, why not? Yes, I went to Target after this, and yes, people was looking at me like, where you going? Mind your business, I'm buying candles. I decided at this point in the video that I was like, ooh, chop my hair. So these products also came in my Ipsy bag, and this is a leave-in conditioner with a Moroccan oil. I mix those together. I plop this in my head, and this is unwashed hair, you guys, which, you know, as we all do every other day. Brush it with my 2-sided brush. Yes, lava. Get those edges down, and there you have it. So the complete look, a little bit of hair, a little bit of makeup, you know how I do. So until our next videos, gems, shine bright. Bye.
Your fingers